Well, Vesela Kaleda, Priatelli, Merry Christmas, everybody. Your main man, John the Bond, coming to you. Now, in this video, I want to share with you something that I saw yesterday when I was watching the Gremlins. I watched Gremlins 1 and 2 yesterday for the first time, and I saw something that I've never heard anybody mention before, and if it's just a coincidence, I find this very hard to explain, so we'll talk about that. But first, I saw this from my truth uncle, Crazy Dave J, and this is what he wrote. Like less than 24 hours ago, he says, "The fact that it is the atheist antichrists and the babblers that are pretending to be busy tonight and tomorrow is the biggest laugh of the season. Bah humbug to all you posers. Go worship your tree of greed and your God-given gifts by mammon. Now scoot, goofballs," is what Crazy Dave J says. Very interesting comment. I think what's happening is my truth uncle, Crazy Dave J, he's upset that there's no live streams for him to listen to or to watch at the moment because people are busy, going to Christmas events and hanging out with loved ones and these kinds of things. So he's got nothing to listen to or to watch. But Crazy Dave J, I've got some good news for you, my friend. In fact, there are no less than 4 podcasts waiting for you right now. So I'm going to link to all 4 of them in the show notes below. Now, I chatted with Tim Osman for our 5th Bombversation very recently. We discussed, are the flat earth leaders trying to mandoozle their own audiences? How often do awake people change their opinions when new evidence comes to light? And what is this predictive programming story? And is there evidence there'll be a nuke event in 2025? Will there be a fake nuke in 2025? I will link to that conversation in the show notes below, in the comment section below. And so far, the feedback has been terrific. Gino says, my 2 favorite auto hoaxes join forces for another insightful and entertaining podcast. Thank you, Gino. Arizona Summer says, another excellent discussion. Definitely needs to be a weekly thing, Arizona Summer. Do you know how long it takes me to edit these podcasts to make them sound all nice and professional? A weekly thing, I don't know. But I would like to chat with Tim Osman more often than just twice a year. We should do it more often than every 6 months. But weekly, I'm not so sure. Maybe there's a middle ground that we can find. And Warrior Monk says, spectacular once again. Thank you to those of you who've left your comments. I really do appreciate that. Now, I also had a chat recently with Human Vibration. And for some reason, she wanted to talk about death, suicide, and these kinds of things. Very strange if you ask me. So we spoke about that and so much more, including... Now you see, folks, I happen to suspect that the so-called ultrasounds are not good for the baby. I know that's a crazy thing. What? Ultrasound isn't safe, but it's just sound, JLB. Yeah, I know. Well, Human Vibration disagrees with me about this. So we discussed that in depth. On one side is John the Bond saying, these ultrasounds really are a big disaster and people should know about this. And on the other side is Human Vibration saying, yeah, but what if they're totally harmless and you're the one spreading the fear, JLB? And I was like, that's a good question. Let's think through this. What's the evidence on either side? So we discussed this and so much more on the latest Realize Radio upload, which is just for the supporters of Realize Radio. It costs like $5 a month, folks. This one conversation, I think, is worth the price of admission. And they've got like 180 other episodes. So I'll link to that in the show notes. Also available is this. The JLB Clip Show number 4, I uploaded this just a few days ago. Topics include sync, predictive programming, relationships and marriage, interdimensional portals. I know. Just anyhow, evil, media fakery, and human psychology. The clips are from people like Greg Carwood, Christopher Knowles, Calcified Lies, Realize Radio, Fakeologist, Fake Nukes Phil, Quantum of Conscience, Jay Coates, Joe Rogan, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and more. That's available right now. I'll link to that in the comment section below. Of course, I'm uploading these to the free JLB Patreon and to the Coffee Club on the JLB Patreon. So you can access some of these clip shows totally for free, and then some others are just for the supporters of the people who support what I do with the John the Bond clip shows. And so far, the feedback has been fantastic. Thank you to those of you who've left that feedback. And then also, if that's not enough, folks, I've got one more thing for you. This is the Soundboard Saturday soft launch. There's a show called Soundboard Saturday. Used to be at fakeologist.com, but we've moved the show over to truthmeets.com for a bunch of reasons that we don't have time to go into right now. But this is a multi-hour episode available totally for free. It features D-Train from the Gold Coast, Fast Value from Texas, John the Bond from Plovdiv, Bulgaria, Linda from Ohio, Meditating as a Habit from the Closet, Rick from Port Macquarie, Silas from Scotland, Susie from God knows where, Typo Error from England, and Verilicious from the Gold Coast. This is a really crazy episode, folks. This is just if you love the the hustle and bustle of the media fakery so-called truth scene, if you like the inside baseball, if you just like some antics and some nonsense, and the soundboard clips as well, you'll like this. But this is really a bizarre episode, I have to say. And this is the debut. This is the first official episode of the soundboard Saturday over at truthmeets.com. So that's 4 different episodes waiting for you right now, Crazy Dave J, and everybody else. And this is all from the past 6 or 7 days, not even. So go and check those out. I think you will enjoy them. Now, let's get back to this tweet. Where is it? From Crazy Dave J. He says, "Bah humbug to all of you posers. Go worship your tree of greed and your God-given gifts by mammon." You know what else I watched yesterday? The Grinch with Jim Carrey, which I first watched a year ago, and I loved it, and I watched it again last night, and it's terrific. The Grinch. I might even do a full movie analysis of The Grinch. There's a lot of stuff in there that I think is lost on people. Jim Carrey, what a funny dude. Okay, now let's get to this. I did promise you that I watched The Gremlins, and I saw something that I don't think other people have picked up on. Now, you would have seen that in this film, The Gremlins 2, the new batch, there's a few different 9/11s. For instance, the reporters one has a 9 and one has an 11. So it's like a 9/11 as they're speaking to Clamp, and Clamp is based on Donald Trump. I'm sure you've seen that. I've seen that. But what I've never seen, I haven't watched this film before properly, so I watched it, and I couldn't help but notice this. Take a look at this. This is like 13 minutes into the film, and this guy's called Fred. Of course, Donald Trump's father. His name was Fred. I'm not sure if I don't know if that was intentional or whatever. Anyway, so this guy, he kind of looks like a bat or a Dracula or something, and I was like, oh, very interesting. Now, hopefully YouTube doesn't censor me for what I'm about to. I'm going to play a few seconds of this. You're allowed to review and analyze movies for the sake of news or analysis or entertainment, whatever. So hopefully this doesn't get me kiboshed by the censors. Folks, just take a look at this and see if you notice anything.
Say, oh, Renfield, you want some more flies, don't you? And then I go over to the coffee.
Sorry, Fred. Can somebody find a tape of the
Hey, Fred.
phone, please? Thank you.
Oh, hi, Billy.
Listen, I heard about your new time slot. I'm sorry. Personally, I think they're making a big mistake.
Mistake? Oh, kid, it's a disaster. People who watch TV at 3:30 in the morning aren't scared of the Wolfman. Only thing that scares those people is getting sober and finding work.
Look,
Hey, watch it with that thing, will you?
isn't that great?
Oh, sure it is.
So immediately after the bat-looking dude says that the new time slot that his show has been given, 3:30, immediately after that we see a bat. Now, when you think of 33 or 33 or 3 times 11, 33, when you think of these numbers and bats, what do you think of? I think of Falling Down the Rabbit Hole, the 20-part, 20-hour series at johnthebond.com, where we analyze all the different TV shows. Season 3, episode 11, and what do we find? And as some of you know, when I took the time early this year to go back and watch Just Shoot Me and Spin City and Seinfeld and X-Files and Friends and all of these different popular TV shows from before 9/11 and before 3/11 for that matter, what did I find? Well, of course, what I found shook me to the depths of my miserable soul. So I will also put a link to that series, Falling Down the Rabbit Hole by John LeBon, 2024. My proudest work of this year, and some of the best work I've ever done. That's not my opinion. That's the opinion of the people leaving the comments. I will link to that series for you. That's if you get through all the other stuff that I've already presented to you today. So lots of stuff. Check it out. And let me know in the comment section below. Did you know about this 3:30 with a bat in a film from 1990 called Gremlins 2, which also has 9 and 11 references up the wazoo and a direct reference to Trump and other stuff as well. I'm just telling you some of the stuff here, folks. Did you know about the 3:30 and the bat? I think I will do an analysis of this film at some point in the future. But that'll do us for today. So once again, folks, Vesela Kaleta. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy your time with your family and your friends, or if you're not fortunate enough to have those kind of close connections, this can be a tough time of year. I fully understand. I've been traveling the world now for 6 years. I know what it's like to be away from the people you care about. But hopefully, even if you didn't enjoy the day with close friends or close family, you're at least enjoying listening to John LeBon on fakeologist.com, truthmeets.com, Patreon with Realize Radio, and the John LeBon Clip Show. So much content that I bring to you. And all I ask is that you enjoy yourself, have a good time, and for the rest of the day, have a Merry Christmas and a lovely festive season. And a big thanks to all the people who have supported John LeBon in any way whether it's through comments or emails or even the occasional tip. It all makes a big difference. I appreciate it. And here's to 2025, and let's hope we have ourselves a better year in 2025. And so this is Christmas, folks, and what have you done, Crazy Dave J?
The receipt for his McDonald's coffee after tax is $2.86.
The conspiracy theories are built into these events in advance.
I think these people come from a different world. I think they came through a portal, frankly.
These people are wackos.
This is one coordinated, planned in advance agenda.
The Land of Broken Men is a pub, and everybody's just broken from broken relationships. Everyone had a different story, but it was all the same story, and it was like, oh, my life was great, but then this happened, and then I've been in this pub ever since.
I heard it's a bestseller this year. Seriously, I hear the Book of Enoch all the time now.
Getting you to just tap your card on the readers now. You don't stick it in, you just tap it.
All you gotta do is just tap it in. Just tap it in.
You just tap it.
Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy.
You just tap it.
Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
My daughter came up to me and said, have you seen that cute guy that shot the guy in New York?
There's still a lot of problems with the globe, theory.
The 24-hour sun doesn't really make a checkmate anyway.
Yeah, I never thought it did either. I didn't quite understand.
You gonna take your ball and go home? Oh, okay. Take your ball and go back to your mud flood videos.
I could tell. I was like, oh no, I think they're gonna like me too much, and I ghosted them.
I subscribe to the idea that places have memory. I think there's something real to that.
They say McDonald's was one of the most viewed things that they've ever had.
We're being played here. The 286 thing, the numerology you mentioned, I mean, it's a little weird. You gotta be a nerd to really pick up on it. There's no reason to think that the news vendors are somehow enlightened about the big picture. I think it's highly compartmentalized. All the Pokemon are in the Pokedex under a number. That number is 286.
The ancient Jews used Hebrew as their numerical system.
He's from Townsend, Maryland, zip code 21286.
We're in a very low time culturally, very low.
He was detained 286 miles from the scene of the shooting.
And do I even want it to last? Do I? Because
is it supposed to last?
Is it supposed to last?
The receipt for his McDonald's coffee after tax is $2.86.
That could all just be this whole process of entering into the synchronistic reality.
If we can find out where they came from, then we can send them back. I think they came through a portal, frankly.
I heard it's a bestseller this year. Seriously, I hear the Book of Enoch all the time now.
This is the greatest news of all time. Understanding how fake this reality is, what it's trying to get from you, which means how powerful it's the greatest how powerful you are. It's the greatest news of all time.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
And you start your journey down the rabbit hole of understanding how they are intentionally encoding these movies with subconscious symbolism.
Before I even got married, I couldn't see myself married forever. I was like, I don't know how I can't picture this.
How am I going to do this?
How am I going to do this? Yeah.
I've never been married, and it's never been something I've ever even thought of, really.
That is, in effect, a format similar to trauma-based mind control.
These people are wackos.
I have to say, I do listen to the Bonversations and enjoy them.
John the Bond, I would be on your server. I would be everything. I love your stuff.
If I have a baby, I'm going to call it JLB.
John the Bond called it a dirty little secret.
In fact, johnthebond.com. I highly recommend the website.